Good morning. We are down at the farm here in Berkey, dropping Brock and Rylan off. He wants to ride back. In the 8RX, they're going to take the grain cart back to Waldron. Brock's getting the oil checked, and they're going to head out because it's going to take them a little while. Brock finished planting some double crop beans last night after we got done combining down here while I took the combine home. So the field we call the Crick Flats over there is done. These ends on this field are done. All we have left to do is the field that we combined yesterday. This one over here on the other side of the woods and the trees, and you can see we've got all these straw windrows out here. They did call me this morning. They're going to come and bale today, so that is good. In fact, they have already been out here this morning because they have split the windrows. Look at this. So you can see that out there, how one windrow has become two. That's how they're handling these big heavy windrows from a 40-foot head, is to split them. So that's good. See, they're actually doing something, and we should get this straw baled up and picked up today, which means we can maybe later this afternoon plant some double crop beans in there and get it done, or come down tomorrow morning and get it done. Speaking of the balers, right there they are. There's two of them anyway, two of the three, so good deal. They're getting started. We've got the dryers running, drying the last of the weed up, I think. I got the seed tender hooked up. We're going to take these two last boxes that we've got over to the field and put them in the air seeder. We're going to be really close on seed, just about exactly what we were supposed to have, which is good. So we'll see. I don't know if we'll be able to do any planting today. If Jack wanted to, he could, but if he doesn't, it's not a big deal. We'll get it done in the morning. Well, we're bringing our seed over here, and these guys they're after it. Got the Baron out here, and we got all three balers. Cool.
They have three?
They do. They have three. These are our lightly treated beans. Basically, it's the boxes we ran through at the very end to flush the treater and help clean it out and stuff. So they're a little pink. They got treatment on them, but they're not by any means the labeled rate of treatment. And then the other box over there is totally untreated. We never even opened it because I wasn't sure if we were going to need them or not, but we do. So we're going to open them and put them in here. Okay, our air seeder is full. Like I said, we can't start planting yet. We got to get the bales out of the way, and that's fine. I don't know if we're going to have the manpower to do it today. Anyway, no big deal. I did want to walk out here, though, where Brock planted these on Friday. I think it was Friday. And let's see what we've got. Ooh, right there. Look at that. That one was almost out of the ground already. Wow. That's awesome. Sometimes the air seeder doesn't always do the best job getting the beans nice and deep in the ground and where you want them. But yeah, they're coming. Right there's one. Another day or two they'll be poking through out of the ground. The first ones we planted might already be out of the ground. That's really good. Okay, we've got our fuel trailer and we are heading back. I forgot to mention when we were loading those beans up, it was a good opportunity for me to talk about what beans we are planting. And I didn't do it, so we'll do it now. So double crop beans planted earlier than normal double crop beans, but so soybeans are different than corn. Corn matures based on heat units. How much heat we accumulate throughout the year keeps that corn progressing and moving. Soybeans are much more daylight sensitive, or the length of the day, or really the length of the night. That's what kind of triggers them to progress through their growth stages. And so, when you plant an early maturing soybean, which for our area, an early maturing would be a mid to early group 2. So the earliest we plant is a 2.2. The fullest season we plant is a 3.4, excuse me. And so anything that's like a 2.7, 2.6, 2.5 and under would be considered early maturing for us. Late season would be anything like a 3.1 plus, 3.1, 3.3, 3.4, all of those. So the kind of the mid-range for us would be 2.8 to 3.0. Okay? Anyway, that's going to vary depending on your area, mostly based on latitude, because the day length changes depending on how far north or south you are. Anyway. So when we plant an early maturing soybean, basically because it responds to daylight length, that means that as the days start getting shorter, it's going to start triggering maturity earlier than a fuller season bean will. In other words, the days have to get shorter for the fuller season ones than they do for the earlier maturing ones to trigger that senescence and for them to start to die down and become ready for harvest, right, to mature. So it's a little counterintuitive because you think you're planting them late. You want to plant a early maturing soybean that's going to mature faster because they're getting a late start. But that's not actually the case, because what happens when you plant it late is you've cut the front half of the season off, and now if you plant an early maturing soybean, because it's going to start maturing based on daylight time, not heat units, it's going to start to dry down and die down early, which means you've also cut the tail end of the season off. So essentially what we want to do is plant the fullest season bean we can that we are pretty confident will not get frosted off. Now, a 2.2 bean planted in April is still going to mature faster than a 2.2 bean planted in July or the end of June, but a 3.0 or a 2.8 bean is going to have a longer growing season now than a 2.2 will, because they're getting both planted at the same time. You're cutting off the front end of the growing season, planting them late, but the 2.8, the 3.0, the fuller season, the mid-range bean for us will stay alive a little bit longer and give us a better chance to capture sunlight and fill those pods out before they get frosted. So that's kind of the theory. You want to plant as full a season as you can that aren't going to get frosted. Which for me, this year, we planted a 2.8 maturity and a 3.0 maturity. We started with 4 boxes of 3.0s and then finished with the 2.8s. It'll be interesting to see if there's much of a difference. Last year I planted a 2.8 and a 2.9. The 2.9 was actually much better and much drier than the 2.8. Now we used a different 2.8 bean this year. It's not the same one we planted last year. But that was interesting to me. So theoretically, the 3.0s will have a little bit more yield potential because they'll stay alive a little bit longer. In practice, I don't know if that's how it'll actually be or not. But that's the soybean maturities that we planted. Most of them we treated, like I said, not all of them, because I wasn't sure how many we were going to need, and I wanted to clean the treater out there, but most of them did get treated. Just made it back from Berkey here. We're going to put some fuel in this trailer. We got to take it up to the generator at the irrigation field. Dad's decided to get started. And there's our grain cart. That timed out pretty darn well. So he just got some ends opened up and was just moving the truck across the road, and there's our grain cart. Guess it's time to go. Well, I guess those guys are going to keep going there, so that's fine. Dad's going to run the combine until I get fuel in the generator and get some lunch. Brock's going to run cart, and then I'm going to go take over the combine when we get back. Got the fuel in the generator. There's the machine. Can you see it? The top of it? It's moving. We should go out and look. I haven't been out to it running in a while. It did these end rows overnight. You can see the nice band of water right on the base of the plants. Man, that is so freaking cool. Working as designed and expected. Oh, this corn's tall. So we're in the last row that it's in the drop right now. We watered that one a little while ago. Like I said, this at this point is more about nutrients. We're using this more as a side dress tool to get our fertilizer on than we are as an irrigation machine, but the water's a bonus too. Oh, I guess I'm in the wrong row. It's over here. Right down that row. Water, water, water. Soaking it right into the roots. Let's go. moving fast today. We're basically running it as fast as it will go. This machine is tall enough that it will go over the corn no matter how tall it gets. Obviously, we've got plenty of clearance on the booms. The lowest portion will be for these 2 rows coming under the axle here, but we've got skid plates. That's easily 7 feet. I mean, I can walk under it, so the corn will bend over and go under there just fine. Everything looks good here. The hose is quite dirty from all the condensation we had on it a couple weeks ago. It's fine, not gonna hurt anything. This piece here is what had broken there last week, or whenever we shut it down. It had basically run into the end of the hose and broke this clamshell off, bent up a bracket in there a little bit. So that stuff all got replaced and looks good. Happy with that. Drive tires. You can see the shields pushing the corn out of the way. Perfect. And we got water over here. Running down the rows a little bit more than I would like, but that's due to the tire track that is right there. So we're gonna make a few adjustments for next year, do a better job when we're planting. Just looking at our corn while we're out here, you see this little bit of streaking in the leaves. I believe that is sulfur deficiency, and well, that's why I want to get some ATS out here. My goodness, it's tall. It's taller than I am. Other than that, I don't see a ton of damage or anything to be worried about. We did put an early fungicide on this corn, and we will do a tassel fungicide when that time comes. A little bit of insect feeding maybe. For the most part, she looks really good. Yeah, there's some bug feeding. At some point when we're done with wheat harvest and I've got more time, we're gonna come out and do some agronomic stuff. I want to dig some roots up, look at them. We should dissect a plant like we do every year, and I want to see if we can find any rootworm larvae. Time to take over the combine from Dad. I thought he had a kid with him, but I don't see one. Oh, yep, he's sitting in the corner. Okay, eating my food, that's what he's doing. Back in the combine seat today. Harvesting some wheat right across the road from the farm. This is always a good one. I should make Ryland drive so I can get out and take video and pictures. He's busy coloring. Anyway, we were really curious if the wheat up here was going to be as good as the wheat down at Berkey. The answer is, well, yeah, it's pretty good. We'll take that. We'll see what the rest of the field and how everything goes once we get stuff, you know, a more significant amount done here, but looks good. This is AgriPro GP 463, so this was a new variety for us a year ago that I was kind of like, I'm not sure. Not sure if this one's any good or not. It's doing quite well here. So we do in the field on the other side of the house over here, we've got a little bit of this variety and a little bit of the SY100, which is the one that did really, really well down to Berkey. So that will be an interesting comparison. Yeah, this will be fun. Making progress across here. We're just about to the point where we've got to go back into that longer rows there, open up some ends. A lot of that wheat is down. It typically happens in the high organic matter stuff. The low ground, that wheat gets a little more nitrogen out of the soil, mineralizing out of the organic matter, and then it goes flat. So that's probably the worst of the down wheat that we've got up here, is this little area up in there. A few different spots, but time to go get it. So typically when we're combining wheat, we cut sort of high because we only need the heads. So when I hit the number 2 button on my handle here, it goes down to kind of a predetermined height, and it uses the off-ground header height sensors, those black arms that we put underneath the head to sort of sense the height. Oh, wrong way. As we're running it on the ground. When we get down wheat like this, I hit the number 3 button here, and it puts it into flex mode, just like we were cutting beans. And it lets that cutter bar ride right on the ground. We stick our reel out forward and down, and it helps to kind of rake that stuff in. And we get most of it. We don't get it all, but we do get most of it. The problem is we're running a lot of plant material through the head, so we have to really slow down in order to get all of that through the combine and not throw everything right through the back. Oh no, don't do that.
What? Sure.
When I went to push the number 2 to go back up because it wasn't any down stuff there, it engaged my auto steer and kicked me off the edge of the field, so now we missed a little bit, but now we're back down in number 3, trying to rake in this down wheat, getting it right off the ground, and you can see there's not any heads in that stuff that's behind the head, behind after we've combined it, so doing a pretty good job. Advantages of working across the road from the farm. He gets to leave whenever he wants. He said he wants to go ride his go-kart, and it's there, so off he goes. Okay, let's keep her moving here. We got about 30 acres done. It's maybe not quite as good a wheat as some of that stuff down to Berkey was, but it's still darn good wheat. 106 it says right now. That's good. We'll take it. Still fighting some of this down wheat in spots here. It's the slow ground in the back after you drop down off of that hill. It's fine. We're about done. Not a lot left. Let's see here. No, not that one. Not that one. That one. Yeah, Brock's name's in the way, but we're doing this triangle up here. Well, there's the first field done. So we're going to jump across the lane over to the south side of the house over here. But Dad called me. He was up at the irrigation field, and he thinks he noticed a problem with the rain. A couple of the drops seem to have maybe broken off that are missing or something. I don't know. I'm going to go find out what's going on with it, though. So he might come and run the combine for a little bit while I go and deal with that. Whatever. I'm going to run the combine down there and open it up and get him started in the field so that I know everything is set up right. And then we'll run up there. Look at that nice flag over there. What a nice flagpole. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Picked up another rider. We're just opening the ends up. I see Dad just got back. He was up there with the backhoe, so I'm sure he's going to come over here and run this, and we'll go we'll see what's going on up there at the field. Well, this is not going to be real fun here. We got to find the drops that are missing. This corn is tall, and it's going to be where it just watered, so it's going to be muddy. We have a couple of theories. So they seem to be in the middle of the machine, so at least we know what rows to walk in and look for it. That's helpful. Dad thought maybe we had a branch or something come down along the woods that maybe something got caught in. This is the path, or the row that the center wheel would have run in, so they should be laying right in here. That's the good thing, is we can narrow it down to at least the right row. We just don't know what pass, so it's going to walk along the woods here. I don't think it's a tree branch. It's probably in the center lane. The machine is right over here, so we're going to go look at it real quick and see if we can figure out what the heck is going on. Yeah. So this is what we're supposed to have, is a drop. This one is broken off. That white plastic in there has broken on the inside too. It's likely in the center lane. They probably got caught up on the corn and got drug into the tire there or something, if I had to guess. So whatever piece it is there, we're gonna have to find one. It looks like a inch and a half or inch and a quarter PVC adapter threaded to glue in. That's what it looks like to me. But we gotta find them. That water's just spewing out now. I mean, it's still getting on. It's better than not, but that's not what we want. Yeah, that's not ideal. So it just made its turn and it's heading back. It's not supposed to shoot straight down like that. But there's still water going down. So we're gonna drive the truck around and go back to the center lane and look there. I don't know. I mean, there's a few likely spots for it to be, but there's a lot of places that it could be. All right, we've kind of been walking the pipe. We're around the center backbone, and I can see pretty clearly where they were on and where they are not. So this is a row that it would have run one of those drops, and look at all how the waters are all in the center of the row. We've got some erosion happening, some holes here. They definitely were gone before it did this pass. So we'll just keep walking back and looking at them until we find the one where, oh, they were on here, and then we can walk that path and probably find them. All right, so I've made it to the first pass that it did last night. So this was less than 24 hours ago. This side here, we can clearly see the drop was missing, but that side looks okay. And this is the first one that it's really looked like that. So I'm gonna walk this pass. This one goes back out to the lane there where we've been driving, and we'll see if we can find one. That tells me that they were probably lost at separate times, which is not a good thing. But it is what it is. So if we find this one this way, we'll go try and walk the other way. And the next pass should be in the next one, because that one was okay. So it had to be there on its return trip here. So it should be in the next pass. Okay, there's one of them. That's a win. We gotta walk the next pass. Look, maybe it's just 60 feet over here. It might be going the other end of the field though. Oh, lucky for me, the next one was just laying, or was the next pass over, not the other side of the field. So maybe we'll get lucky and it's right here, but I don't see it. Should be right there, and it's not. Okay, well, we gotta do a little more investigation. Well, I got to I found that first one at the end of path 113. It wasn't at the end of 115, so I thought, well, it's got to be at the end of 114. But I came down here and it was gone by this point. So it's got to be somewhere between 113 and 114. So I'm walking it, and we'll probably end up walking all the way back to the center lane, and we should find it. I don't know where else it could be. Sometimes it's just one of those days. Gosh dang it. I'm right back in the center, and I walked right past it. I was stuck up here in the corner. I wasn't looking there. This is 113, the end of 113, right in the beginning, right where I walked. Walk right past the dang thing. Okay, well, good news. We found them. Also, I called the dealer, and he says, okay, I got you some new ones coming. So they're gonna send them up here, and you know, it is what it is. I was getting a little like, gosh dang it, what's wrong with it now kind of thing, after we've had a couple of other little minor issues, but this is minor, and the problem is the corn is getting tall, right? So when it goes across the rows, these kind of get caught on the rows and they drift up, and it bent too far and it broke that plastic. He said that those two in the center have a bolt in them that kind of restricts their movement a little bit. He said you can take that out, give them a little more flex. It should solve the issue. Okay, that's good to know. But, you know, 3 days ago or whenever it was, the last time we were watering, this corn wasn't this tall. It was chest high on me. We've grown 1.5 to 2 foot since then. So it's stressing things, and it's just different. This is still part of, it's year one. It's startup growing pains. It's learning how this machine works. It's the kinks that we're going to work out of it as we learn how it functions and figure everything out. It's not a big deal. We're not going to worry about it. So they are sending me 2 new ones of these, but in the meantime, we're going to go see if we have any of that fitting, because we can cut that off and glue a new fitting on there, put it back together. Great catch by Dad there. I looked at it at noon and didn't see it, but it was watering with the outside drops, not the inside drops, and I didn't walk around the back of the machine because there was nothing happening there. I had no reason to, so, oh well, no big deal. We'll see if we got the fittings we need to fix it. What time is it? 6:02. The hardware store's still open. I could go get something if I needed to. It's still awfully cool to watch. Well, this is the piece that we need, but we need it in 1 inch, and this is 3/4. And I have this in 1.5 inches, and not 3/4. That's not exactly right, but it would work. We're in luck. They had what we need. I bought 3 of them. Well, there's one of our drops fixed. I just cut it off flush and glued a new one on. We lost, what's that, 1.5 inches of length? So what? Well, pretty well looks like Dad's gonna finish that field there. It won't take him too long either. He's only got 2 rounds left, not even. So we're gonna go up and see if we can put these drops back on. The hardest part is going to be getting the old threaded portion out. I don't know how that's gonna go. So I brought a ladder, I got a few tools. We'll probably end up making 2 trips. We'll see. Oh, I probably need some thread sealant. We're gonna go back and get some thread sealant. So I shut the machine down. We were kind of close to the ends here. Truck's right there. And so we're, right here. We got to get that piece out of there. And as you can see on my thumb here, I already got the other one out. I was able to take 2 screwdrivers and kind of wedge them in there and twist, and it came out. And that makes this easy. And you can also see up there, there's a bolt that keeps this from flexing any past there. The one out there does not have that. I'm sure it's to keep it away from the tire, but it's making it break. So they recommended taking that bolt out. And I think I have the right wrenches to do so. And I even brought a little step ladder so I can get up there. All right, I got it fixed. I left them on a little bit of an angle. We had talked about doing that anyway to see if it doesn't wash the rows out quite so bad. So we're gonna leave them. I better get these tools picked up before it drenches them in water. Okay. It should start up here. We're gonna watch it for a second, make sure it's okay, but I think we're good. Away it goes. Well, that was much less of a problem than I thought it was gonna be. Cost me $4 to fix and about 1.5 hours of my time. We'll take it. Well, they got done across the road there. I jumped in and rode with Dad for a round there, and they got her finished up. So he was talking to the neighbor across the road. Brock's just looking at the cart here, and it is almost 8 o'clock. We're not going anywhere else tonight because it's almost 8 o'clock. And we are down to 70 acres of wheat to do, so we should be able to get it done tomorrow pretty easily. Hopefully the baling guys get going up here tomorrow. They are done down to Berkey, so we can go down there and get those beans planted. I think I'm going to try and do that tomorrow morning, and then we'll get back up here and finish combining the wheat. Well, another pretty decent day today. We got a lot of wheat combined. It was good wheat. Minor breakdown with the 360 rain there, but we got her back up and running, and didn't really cost us much, so we aren't going to complain about it. And yeah, everything is good. We are hopefully going to be able to finish wheat harvest tomorrow. There's a chance of some rain, so we'll see what the weather's like, but I think we'll be able to keep working and get that done. Hopefully we'll get our double crop beans planted, the rest of the main ones anyway. Looks like we're going to do just a few up here at Waldron. But it doesn't sound like much. Mostly just using up some open plot bags of seed and stuff like that. So have a great night. If you would subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, like the video. Head on over to Farm Focus, grab yourself a Best RX t-shirt. They are running their 4th of July fundraiser. $5 from every t-shirt sold goes to 50 Mile March. Links in the description. Check them out. Feel free to donate directly if you don't want to buy a shirt, but appreciate it. See you guys.